Y'all,
I was gonna say, every time
I'm
we
gonna
get
call
we
the
do
meeting
nothing.
order at 3:17 p.m. on this fabulous Monday.
I love the
The
background.
first thing we're gonna do is roll call. So, Parliamentarian Adams here, Comms Director Bradley here, Treasurer Geary here, Chief of Staff Grayson here is taking exams and is excused. President McLaughlin here. I am here. Graphic Design Coordinator Pugh.
Yes, I'm here.
Recording Secretary Steiner.
I'm here.
DEI Chair Williams.
Here.
PBT Fornatero.
Here.
Wonderful. Senator Bell here. Senator Sapolsky.
Here.
Senator Dixon.
Here.
Senator Mahone.
Here.
Senator Reid.
Here.
Senator Pickett.
Here.
Senator Carey. Here. Senator Plisga.
Here.
Senator Ringel.
Here.
Senator Minkus.
Here.
Senator Sala.
Here.
Senator Richards. We have an excuse for Senator.
Do not.
Okay. Senator Mendoza.
Here.
Senator Palermo is working on their P4 and will not be here today. Senator Osteen.
Here.
Senator Slaninka. We have an excuse for Senator Slaninka?
I do not.
Okay. With that, we'll move to approval of the minutes. But the minutes are still incomplete.
Please
and-
upload the video.
Yeah, as soon as the video is uploaded, they will be fixed and sent out to y'all via email later this week. So with that, we will move to the approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda? PBT Fornatero, do we have a second? All right, Senator Dixon. All right, and we will move to our first open floor. Does anybody have anything for our first open floor? All right, nothing for our first open floor. We will move to reports of the executive cabinet. We'll start with President McLaughlin.
Hey all. You have more meetings as usual. I attended the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, which obviously they will speak to more. I've been emailing some organizations to potentially come to the Zine Fair. I've also been emailing with Culinart, spoke briefly to Chris Johnson today, so hopefully we will get a more regular meeting going with him. Mostly meetings. I've also been speaking to the Christian Coalition for Outreach, which you will be hearing from later in this meeting as well. That might be a big chunk of our time, so I'm just gonna move right along.
All right, and as for my report, myself, Senator Sapolsky, and President McLaughlin dorm stormed for Fall Fest last night. So if you got something slid under your door that said go to Fall Fest, it was from us, go to Fall Fest. Please. We also attended the DEI meeting, which obviously I will let Drew share more, but we spoke to Tessa about a couple things that DEI is working on. And then the only other thing I wanted to report today was that I talked briefly to Christy from Culinart and talked to her about the allergen-free fridge that was put into the dining hall, which is wonderful. It's got some vegan meats, gluten-free bread, various other dietary restriction nice things are in there. So good thing that has happened and good progress we've made in that department. With that, since Chief of Staff Grayson Joe is not here, I will move to Parliamentarian Adams.
Alright, hi everybody. I am currently chatting with 3 separate groups of students for 3 separate constitution updates or new groups, so there's going to be a lot of new business next week, so just be prepared for that. And other than that, nothing to report.
All right, DEI Chair Williams.
Hi. Big thing. I attended a business mixer event and got to touch some people in the CGI organization. They kind of do. I forgot to bring one of the brochures, but it's essentially a charity organization, and they're doing a Diwali event coming up in the next week. Yes, next Tuesday, and I was reaching out to them about possible volunteering, and the rest of the report would be for the committee.
Recording Secretary Steiner.
Okay. We already talked about the minutes, so I'll skip that. I'm going to talk to B about website stuff. And then last week I met with Senator Pliska to talk about the Health and Safety Committee, which I brought up during exec cab. We discussed issues like dining hall food, elevator concerns, public safety, online dating safety, and other stuff. And then I want to try to work with SGA, and it's on us to possibly collaborate to talk about online dating safety and Title IX stuff. But pretty much that's it for me.
All right, Comm Director Bradley?
At the moment, it seems like the comms, it's more of a committee thing, but we have kind of sort of are talking more about our time to meet. We're all very busy, and some of us are, Mikey is doing the P4, so we're trying to work on communication with that, and on top of that, we're just working on more content to be put out soon, and I don't have much to say for you guys.
All right, graphic design for review?
Not too much going on this week in the graphic design department. I think I mentioned it before, but Elliot made our creative brief. I don't remember if I said that in exec cab or in this meeting. It's all a blur. But anyways, so that's it. And I know I said this in the previous meeting, but I think the next DEI meeting, I'm going to come in and get your guys' ideas for things regarding the rebranding for the DEI office. It is no longer called the DEI office. It is called, give me 2 seconds, the Office of Inclusivity and Belonging. And we are in the progress of hard launching that Instagram account, and that is all I have.
All right. PPT for Terry?
Let me think. So today I had my tabling event. You might have seen me out in Lawrence Hall. Well, not Lawrence Hall, but Lawrence Lobby, I guess I'll say. I was just doing election tabling, so I'd say it was pretty successful. I got people to register, so I just need to get those, I just need to talk with you guys and then get those down to the courthouse so they can be taken care of. That was pretty much it. I sent out emails regarding sick committees, so I'll just wait for reports of committees for that. That's all me.
Beautiful. With that, we will move to the reports of the standing committees. Rules Committee?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did skip me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did. Treasurer Gary.
Yeah.
I did
It's
skip you.
okay. Yeah, I spent the last week communicating with a couple different organizations about different funding things. BSU, CCO, API, namely, put in a purchase request for some office needs to hopefully, spruce up some of the things we've been needing in there. And I am in the process of scheduling a meeting with Vice President Peterson and Dean Palo to set up some preliminary informational meetings about student activity fee disbursement, so that we can kind of get working on, putting a focus group together to hear from the students about what they're looking for after the SSI discussion last week. And then I'm also working on conceptualizing a collaborative event with the 5 main university-sponsored organizations. So that's us, CAB, UVU, WPPJ, and the Globe.
That was a beautiful report.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry that I tried to glaze over it. Rules Committee?
So, the Rules Committee is still in a holding pattern. It is now just Christian and I within the group, because people have said,
me.
and now Sienna, because people have said they're not interested or that they have resigned from SGA entirely. So I'm still trying to work things out, trying to see what is a compatible way to get work done. So please just bear with me. Christian and Sienna and I will be talking about appropriate times to meet, and hopefully we can finally get started on some things. So that's all I got.
Beautiful. Finance Committee?
Nothing to report.
All right. And then Comm Committee?
Nothing much more than what I said before.
All right, Student Inno.
Alright, so I sent out an email last week regarding, or I want to say it was around last week, regarding times, or I sent a window meet of times when we should meet. Talked with them, we had a little bit of a scheduling error, there wasn't any available time, so that was fun to figure out, but we did find a time. It will be, I believe, Fridays 1 to 2, right after ours is 12 to 1, yeah. 1 to 2 p.m. I think that's it. I'll send out an email like today or tomorrow making it more specific, and then we'll have our first meeting this Friday. It'll be on the 7th floor of the Student Center. You just go off the elevator, walk straight. You'll see the massive SGA sign on the left and the right. It's the only door. And you walk in. For what we're going to be covering in the actual committee meeting itself, so the zine fair is like a big thing that we're trying to like start up. I know they were just like bringing me involved with it, but I want to just get more conversations rolling on that, just like kind of try to iron out some more key details, and then just do more research on what a zine fair is. I'm not like super duper familiar, so just familiarizing myself a little bit more there, and yeah, that's it for my report.
Alright, and DEI committee.
DEI committee, this past week, we checked in with Tessa. We also had kind of an overview discussion concerning safety, equity, and just ongoing social patterns are on campus. And Senator Dixon, did you have?
That's about it. We essentially just covered all of the problems that we've been dealing with Tessa, and communicated what our needs were.
Alright, with that, we move to reports of senators. Is there any senator reports? Christian?
Me and Senator Mahan, last Thursday, we got to go to an open house for the Plastics Collaborative over at Yuzu. And they're sort of like a branch of Humane Action Pittsburgh. And their mission statement is to reduce and eliminate single-use plastics in our community and strive to create sustainable and equitable solutions, fostering a culture of environmental stewardship through education. So they recently started their new education series, and me and Senator Mahan talked to the program director, Moses, and he thought it'd be a great idea if our new group, the Young Eagle Socialists, could collaborate in some way and bring him over to educate the student body.
Yeah, and I also filled out a form, gave him my school email, and asked him if he would be willing to potentially set up a time for him to come in and talk to us as the student government about what we as the student government could do to help lower the use of single-use plastics in the school. So I'm still waiting to hear back from him on that. When I do, I will loop you guys in.
Awesome. Is there any more senator reports? Alright, if there are no more senator reports, we move to old business. But there's no old business, we'll move right to new business. So we will start with the Coalition for Christian Outreach Funding Appeal. I'm going to go ahead and yield the floor to Treasurer Geary to explain the original disbursement decision by the Finance Committee, and then we will move to the appeal.
Yes. Alright, so obviously we recently voted on our Fall 2 funding disbursement. Part of that was approving Coalition for Christian Outreach for $127.86. This is a very large disparity from their original request, which was $2,036.62. The main reason for this change is that the event Operation Christmas Child contained largely giveaway items, and so the committee determined that we were not able to fund those at this time. And CCO has reached out to us and has brought forth the desire to appeal this decision.
Would you guys like to share?
Yeah, I just have a brief written statement I would read on behalf of
Of course.
So before that, I just want to thank all of you for the time here. We really appreciate you hearing us out and for the consideration. So yes, as mentioned, we as a Coalition for Christian Outreach would like to appeal the funding for the Operation Christmas Child event. I just have a brief background. The Operation Christmas Child event is an event the CCO has hosted where we invite all students on campus. We put together boxes that we fill with things like toys, personal care items, and things such as that will be donated to Samaritan's Purse, which is a charity organization that will provide these boxes to children in need all over the world. We have held this event in previous years with great success. For example, last year we were able to fill and donate over 90 boxes to the charity, and there were about over 60 students that participated, and we had a handful of staff members as well that came to the event. The amount we have asked for is admittedly substantial. We do believe it is necessary for the success of this event, especially as it draws so close to the date we planned. These funds would be used, as mentioned, to purchase the boxes necessary from the charity, and for the items to fill these boxes with. We understand that the guidelines state that the items that are given away are not approved. However, that is the ultimate goal. We would argue that that is not the sole purpose in hosting the event altogether. Our club's mission is to foster a community on campus with all students, and we believe that hosting a large-scale charity event is a great way to bring students together and create that sense of togetherness. So that is the large goal, is that we can bring students together for a great act of good, and the funding would be great in helping us to succeed in the goal of that event. So we are, of course, open to discussion, as we've mentioned in emails. We appreciate all of the help that we've had so far in discussion. That's pretty much all from us, so thank you again.
Does any Ladywell members have anything?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Project Santa a donation drive?
It's not Project Santa, it is the Operation Christmas Child through Samaritan's Purse.
Is it still not a donation drive?
It is donation, yes.
So shouldn't you guys hold a donation drive? That's not an event, right?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
So an event is different than a donation drive?
Yeah, no, the CCO has provided the event. The event itself is, we have all the items and the students put together the boxes that would be donated.
So you want the donations and the labor from us?
No, not the labor. The labor, we're not requesting labor. The labor comes from the students who participate in the event. It's just a way the students will come and, they can pick and choose what items they would want to give away to, it's like one box per child.
But they need to bring donations to give away.
No, the items themselves would be provided by us, which is what we requested the funding for.
No, that's what I'm saying. You need to have them provide donations if they're labeled as donations.
They're not donations if you get funding from us.
Okay, I think I understand.
Yeah.
So I know I'm the president of the Students with a Disability Alliance, and ran into the same issue when we got rejected for items because we had wanted to provide accessibility items for the students that need them and can't afford them. I spoke with Treasurer Geary a lot. What we had decided to do is, obviously the first part wouldn't work in your situation. We got some of the items to loan for the year, which obviously that wouldn't work. But for the items that we're looking to give away, we're meeting with Keely to do a fundraiser, to plan a fundraiser so that we can raise the money to be able to just give them away. I don't know if that's applicable in your situation, but it's just kind of similar, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's in a worst case scenario.
If you want to hold an event where people donate things, then people need to bring donations for the event, but we cannot actually provide the donations themselves, you know what I mean? So we can provide things for people to come and hang out and bring donations to, like the hot chocolate and stuff like that. We just can't actually provide the donations themselves.
Has that changed? Because we've done this event for the past few years and has received funding.
I'll go to Treasurer Geary.
Well, I cannot speak for my predecessors. What's the word I'm looking for? The guidelines for our funding do not allow giveaways of any kind. I can't speak for what their decision-making process was, but it was mine and my finance committee came to a unanimous decision that if we are not willing to give items towards our students, that it would not be fair, would not fit the same precedent that we give other organizations to provide the items for this event.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Did anybody else have?
Would you be open to potentially working with other organizations to make up some of the gap in what we were able to provide? Because I can't speak to what different organizations would be willing to grant, but I'm looking at your form right now. I see a lot of it's like clothing, and like sanitary products are like two of the ones that stick out to me. There might be at least some ability to speak to both the Horned Groundhogs, because they have stores of clothes and sanitary products. The Bison Exchange, they do a lot of like clothing donations, and I would also potentially talk to like community engagement, as I know they probably would have stocks of sanitary supplies, just because I would be hopeful that like potentially there is a way we could speak with other organizations to get those get supplies through pre-existing means without having to put further student funds towards this.
Are there still buses that go to the south side for like LDs and stuff like that? Is there still bus route? Oh, I was gonna say go trip would be fun.
Is there any more discussion?
Yeah, so if like the Young Eco Socialists were to like help with this, I understand that we do not have a budget because we missed the funding period. Would I be able to get help from the county Green Party to like provide things, or is that like, are there rules against that?
That would be a question for us to look into.
Are we allowed to get politically affiliated?
I believe that you are permitted to receive donations to to any organization's holding account from theoretically any source, as long as it's not from like an advisor's source. I think is the only limitation.
Okay.
But any funding for these items specifically would probably be the holding account fund. So.
But you could always, if you intended to do some kind of like donation from that into either a holding account for CCO or for yourselves, that could then be like dispersed if you guys want to work together on that as well.
So what in our emails you discussed that part of sort of like the ticking timer on this is that there's a cutoff for when they'll accept donations by.
Yes, the donation period, I believe, is the 18th to the 25th.
18th to the 25th of November? November, okay.
Sorry.
Awesome. Just because, I just want to know how much time we have to try to figure out how you will be able to achieve what you're looking for. Yeah, I would welcome any member of the finance committee to speak to what their concerns were specifically regarding this. But I think that much of what the issue was has been clarified.
I just wanted to add here that while most of the issue was that it's a giveaway, additionally, looking at the website for like the shoe boxes and the like box themselves are like branded items, like they are branded with like that person Christian Job logo, like Samaritan so one of the big things we also can't fund is branded events. So that was also part of the issue. It was a smaller part, but it was still part of the issue.
And this is just me speaking personally, like person to person. It's not that no one wants this event to happen, because it's a very good event that helps a lot of people. And that is something that we absolutely want to stand behind. We just cannot give you, and I don't want you guys to think that like no one here wants to help, because we do, and we want to see you guys succeed. And we want to see this event be something really good and bring students together. And I think that just talking and hearing this conversation, it opened up a lot of new doors for you guys and a lot more opportunities to collab with other organizations, which will also promote a closer community aspect. So I do commend you guys for that, and thank you for being patient with us.
Of course, we understand.
There's just certain logistics in this.
Yeah, of course.
I have two other questions. One of the first things I was going to ask, is there any process through which the CCO national branch could provide some sort of assistance? I'm not sure how your organization works on that scale, but if they would be able to subsidize any part of it.
Yeah, I'll talk to the president, she may be more knowledgeable comfortable on that. She's been off campus for medical reasons.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, I'll definitely talk to her about that, see if she has
Yeah,
more
that's a
information,
good idea.
reach out, password, contacts, or.
The other thing I wanted to ask, is CCO directly affiliated with Samaritan's Purse, as far as you're aware?
Not directly, not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. I only ask, and I will obviously defer to Treasurer Geary and the rest of the Treasury Department on it, is, as I was not a part of that meeting, is there any wiggle room exclusively on the boxes themselves for the event if it's Samaritan Purse branded versus CCO branded?
I think the rule is just anything branded.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't think so.
I might need to get clarification on that.
Okay.
I'll talk with Keely and see what the rules are there, because honestly, I think that our branded merchandise rule does mostly apply to organization branded items.
Okay.
So, we can talk about that.
And there is like potential for us to, if we find a way to make those non-branded and within our guidelines, that we could like emergency fund those potentially if that was necessary. Is there any more that anybody wants to discuss on that? Okay, with that, do we have a motion to bring this to a vote? And then I also would like to, before we do that, I would like to suggest that like maybe we meet again, like with a smaller group of us that can actually like share some more opportunities and like do some contacting for you guys and with you guys to help find this. Because like to reiterate B's point, it's not that we don't want to do this and that we don't want this event to happen, it's just that we have to find the means to do it within the guidelines that we have to follow. Yeah, go ahead, Riley.
This may be a dumb question. Was all that discussion we just had pertaining to the original ask only, or also this?
This
is the original ask.
Yeah.
This
So
is the
what
original.
this is the original ask with all of the like disbursement that they already
Okay, I
did,
see.
like done to the numbers. So all of the things that were originally requested are on here.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I got you.
But it's sectioned off into like what was given and what was not given. Is there anything specific that anybody wanted to look at? No?
I know I'm not voting, but can I know like what exact, are we voting to give this money, or like is it like to give a certain amount of money back?
Or are we
So-
voting to like table?
So what we would be voting to do right now is to just validate what the finance committee already did, and then without any like changes, unless any changes were proposed by the legislature now that they wanted to do before applying it to the vote.
Okay, in that case, I motion to approve the proposal as submitted by the finance committee.
Do we have a second for that?
Treasury Department.
Okay, and with that, so this is gonna be a vote, and like you said, you're voting for withholding or upholding what we had already originally decided. And if that is the case, obviously we will work with you guys in any way we can to fill in what we haven't decided. We can also have another discussion with our finance committee if we wanted to bring this appeal back forward in the future. Easy.
So I don't mean to be a pain, and I think it really is 6-1 that I'm asking you this, but just to be clear, arguably, the finance committee made last week's recommendation. Everybody voted on that, right? You all came back for an appeal, right, on that? So arguably what you're voting for is the appeal. You're either accepting their appeal or denying their appeal.
Okay.
By denying their appeal, then you're doing what you're saying you're gonna do.
All right, well, I'm doing what I'm told.
I mean, if you all think I'm wrong, please say, but I think that's what we're doing here today, is we're either approving that appeal or denying that appeal.
Okay.
Technically, that's what we're
So if
doing.
we approve that appeal, then it would be taken back to our finance committee, is that what you're saying?
If you approve their appeal, then you're giving them the money.
Okay.
If you deny their appeal, then you're not giving them any money. Right? Because they appealed asking for the money. So either you accept their appeal and give them the money, or you deny their appeal based on everything you've said and why you can't, which makes a complete sense. And then you will work with them on helping to find other ways, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's what we're trying to do here.
Okay, so if you're voting to approve, you're voting to approve the appeal.
Yes.
Yes,
Alright.
you're voting to.
Alright. Well, that's changed from what I heard last, but we'll do it that way. Does everybody comprende?
Right.
Good?
Yes.
Alright, cool. With that, we will take it to a vote. All of those who vote to approve the appeal, please raise your hand. Those who vote to oppose? Any abstentions? Okay, with 9 oppositions and 3 abstentions, the appeal does not pass. And we will, thank you guys for coming again. We can contact you guys. We would like to help you with everything that we can.
We really appreciate it.
Of course,
I
of
thought
course.
there was any misunderstanding.
No,
It's a
absolutely.
clearer picture now, so.
You're so good. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming.
Alright,
Much
thank you.
appreciated.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, and with this, we will move to the API, unless there's any further discussion that anybody wants to have right now. All right. With that, we will move to the API reallocation request. I gotta figure out which one to see. All right, Treasurer here.
So, this is our first reallocation request, but this might pop up in future things, so just so y'all know this is how this is gonna work. AAPI already went through a couple of their events, had to cancel some things, move some things around, yada yada yada, and also missed the Fall 2 funding deadline. So they are asking to reallocate some of their Fall 1 funds originally put towards their first meeting towards this new event. Just so everyone's on the same page, this is not a disbursement of more funding, this is just a moving around of what we've already sent out. So, that's all. They're asking for $96.48.
So our budget will stay the same.
Our budget will stay the same. This
Okay.
is coming from money that we already distributed in Fall 1. They didn't use, and they would like to move it to another event, but we also have to approve it since we, approved the first set of funding.
All right, with that, do we have a motion to bring this to a vote? Senator Elizabeth, do we have a second? Senator Bell. All right, is there any discussion we want to have about this reallocation request before we move this to a vote?
What is the event?
So they're looking to have a white elephant potluck. It's just, I believe, another one of their meetings. The original event was also for a meeting, so it's similar enough in nature, and they are not asking for anything that violates guidelines.
That's fine.
What is the holiday
I can't click on the link, so I don't know.
International flag decorations.
I'm gonna see if I can
The
click
link
it
is
on.
at the top.
Yeah, like the.
Where is it?
Click
Or
on the,
go
click on the
back.
box.
Click on the box.
Oh my God, wait.
Look up there.
Oh, wait.
Wait.
Like decoration, don't we have
Hit,
any?
hit enable.
I'm really only good at clicking one button and
Enable
nothing.
editing.
Enable editing.
Enable editing and copy the link over.
Get Chappy Pop.
I was told plug in the HDMI cord and hit the space bar. Okay, I wasn't doing anything else.
Hit enable editing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh, you did it!
This is the hardest question you
Open it
could
in
have
the tab
asked.
anyway.
If you're on vacation, please don't give me.
That's what they
Oh,
are.
that's so cute. Wait, is that what's hanging up in on the second floor?
Please don't ask me to click on it. Yes, it is.
We do have them already.
I was gonna say, isn't that what's hanging up on the second floor of the
Okay.
student center?
Does anybody have anything?
Yeah, like, don't we have these already?
Putting it in?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
These are different.
Oh, they're different, I got you.
Oh.
Okay, then we need the different ones.
Yeah, we need more representation. I just thought it was the same.
Well,
No, I'm pretty sure
this would be
the ones
less
we have are a different
representation,
banner.
because the other one has more countries on it.
That's true.
Those are also ours for the multicultural festival.
Oh.
And these ones are pretty, so.
Yeah.
So frozen.
Anyways, is there any more discussion on the API allocation? If there's not, we will bring it to a vote. All in favor of the reallocation? All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, with a 13-0 vote, the reallocation for API is approved. Let's go. All right, and then the last thing we have for new business is the BSU emergency funding. I once again give the floor to our beautiful treasurer here.
Alright, you guys are probably so sick of hearing me at this point. So BSU was one of the two organizations that in our original funding request, we chose to completely deny the request. And so they did not receive any funding from Fall 2. Theirs was the one where we asked them to go back and revise, edit, and like make sure they were actually submitting like the correct request and so on and so forth. And they have since returned to us a request that originally totaled $1,647.87. That has once again been edited down to remove giveaway items and items that already exist on campus for them to borrow to a total of $1,179.51. This is well within the remaining budget for Fall 2 allocations, and it is my recommendation that we approve this request.
All right, is there a motion to bring this to a vote? Senator Pliska, is there a second? Senator Dixon? With that, is there any discussion before we bring this to a vote?
Can I just look through what the events they're requesting funding for are?
Yes, let me start. All right, so is there any inventory requests? No, okay. So, this one, they want some cheese pizza and some wings.
As they should.
For this one, they want some more cheese pizza. Was all this denied?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
I didn't get the blowtorch.
I want everyone to know
God,
this
I
is the
remember
first
that.
time
I remember that.
SGA cannot fund fire hazards.
Why?
You have to get fire safety training.
Yeah.
And Morgan's like the only one on campus.
Pinnacle also requested lighters in their original request, and they were like, "Oh, we're intending to like kill the lighters so they don't light." And I was like, "But you're going to receive them with the ability to light, so no."
So for this one, they're not getting a blowtorch, but they are getting marshmallows and cocoa mix and marshmallows.
How are they supposed to
Just
torch
one.
their marshmallows? Yeah, we did approve
I
decorations.
recommended that they borrow the electric marshmallow roasters that Cab has many of.
Yes, those are so good.
No blowtorch.
No blowtorch.
So we are
Alright,
approving.
so you're good for me to go on?
We're approving everything with the blowtorch.
And then these were denied, kind of cold, but that's okay.
The games were denied because Cab already has them.
Okay.
And they're $50 each, we don't need to buy them.
That's right.
Yeah.
These are expensive, not
Yeah.
Printer ink, printer paper, name tags,
Yeah.
some clay, parchment paper.
Why would the tools deny?
Because if you go back to the campfire, they were requested for that event, and so I said this.
So they're gonna
they
use those
use
same
the ones
stuff.
there.
Yeah. Okay,
Could
but
you
the tote
repeat
bag.
the total that they requested again so I can type it?
The original?
Yeah.
Wait, what's wrong with the tote bag?
So,
Yeah, why is the tote bag?
Oh, giveaway.
Could you do
Oh.
both the original and
Yeah,
the
tote
one
bag.
for?
so the original is $247.
Oh,
I think this is $52. It's a really good one. You could put like a neutron star in it and it's
Is there any further discussion on this before we bring it to a vote? You good?
I'm good.
All right. With that, we will bring this to a vote.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Lunch boxes, are those giveaways as well? Because
What?
that's
That's
$115 worth of lunch boxes.
That's
Culinary.
culinary.
Okay.
Okay,
I know that one.
all right.
I know that.
Total request.
The total request, do you have that number again?
Yes, the total request is, with the edits, is $1,179.51.
And how much do we have left over?
We have a little under 4,000.
All right, guys, with that, we will bring it to a vote. All in favor of approving the emergency funding for the BSU? All right. Any opposed? Any abstentions? With a 13-0 with one abstention, the emergency funding is approved. Yay. All All right, and with that, we will move to our second open floor. Does anybody have anything for second open floor?
Mine will just be to be safe. I got punched earlier.
That's like what? Are you okay?
I don't really know how to like handle the situation. I was just walking to the library with a friend, and some random guy outside of Ratique's just punched me, and like up here, it threw me. Like I didn't expect it. I'm okay now. Yes. It happened like an hour ago. Like it genuinely just happened. So like I didn't know what to do. I was gonna call public safety, but then I was like, it just happened. Like I'm fine. I don't know what to do.
So yes, please call public safety, and here's the reason why. So no matter what, remember there are still cameras along the way. We still have the ability to identify who it is, and then we've had several students this year, unfortunately, and we have been able to identify them. They have been arrested. They've gone to county jail. So it's not something we accept. It's not something we tolerate. But so you just need to file with public safety, and then they'll start to do the investigation. Please.
Okay.
And that truly goes for anybody. Please, like at nothing else, it's on the record, right? If nothing else happens, if we get to do anything else, and then if God forbid it happens to somebody else, then there's a pattern. And that helps us long term with regards to the consequences that may be for somebody. So even if it's minor, even if it's no big deal, even if you can't do it in the moment, don't not do it, please, just so that we can keep that.
It just left a red mark. Like I don't have like a bruise or anything. It wasn't like super duper like powerful, but like it still hurt, and like it should obviously not have happened. Like I was just walking with Madison Creech. I don't know if anyone knows who that is.
Yes.
But I was just walking with her. We were walking to the library. Yeah. And
So was it like by the bus stop?
No, it was right in front of Ratique. So like literally like right before we walk in to the Ratique's like 24-hour store or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what it might be called that. I don't know.
Maybe that guy had beef.
But I don't know. He was just standing outside of it, and like I didn't even look at him. I didn't even realize what was happening. He just screamed "punch buggy" and punched me.
Oh, so he screamed punch buggy a time.
I didn't know.
You can't get it.
No, it wasn't a student. It was very obviously like an adult. But I didn't know what to do. Like I was so caught off guard. But like I genuinely didn't know what to do, so I was like caught off guard. So like obviously like Madison and I just like kind of like scurried along, and like we made it inside, and she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like yeah, like I think like I'm fine. Like cause like I just like it was more of like a shock thing. Like I was just processing like I had never been punched while walking to the library before, so like that was just something I had to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm here now.
Public safety.
But yeah, no, so I just wanted to say like be careful. I didn't expect that, and like you can literally be doing nothing. I was just walking with my headphones on talking to Madison, and I got punched. So
Well, thanks for listening.
just a heads up. There's crazy people.
Please, if any other one of you get punched, please let us know. Please keep us up to date on
I didn't even look at
number
him.
of students. Is there anything else for the second open floor?
Do we think that campus safety should be mentioned just because we're on the topic of it? I feel like someone should probably say.
Can I say?
Oh my god.
Okay, so never mind. Now I'm nervous. Never mind. I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
What do you want to say?
With the public safety thing?
Okay, yeah, last night we got that text and then like no other information.
Yeah.
That's kind of insane.
And we didn't get any information until almost 6 in the morning.
Yeah, and we
And we got the text around 1.
We called and emailed being like, can I walk home? Because it says avoid the area. Avoid the area, babe, we are the area.
We can't really avoid it when we have to go through it.
Or when you're in it.
Like they flee the scene and they're on our campus. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I remember what I was gonna say. It was different, but it was about the campus police.
Was it the cop?
Yeah.
No, please don't.
Yeah.
You can bring it up. I can't. Like I can't speak
I
on
don't
this
know if Robert
matter.
wants to elaborate on that, but apparently there's been one of the younger cops, they call him hot cop allegedly, has been flirting with femme presenting students on campus.
That's such.
That's so
Okay, one at a time, please.
How old?
Like
Don't ask.
It doesn't matter.
27, but it's not. Chill. Everybody chill. Anybody? Okay.
That makes me wanna throw up, that's such a conflict of interest.
That is a major conflict.
Interest.
A lot of
There's no
Right.
reference to that.
DEI is doing work in relation to public safety and such. So if you have anything that comes up similar to this, let us know, because we talk every week about stuff like this.
That's not okay. What the hell?
Yeah. But it is something that has been brought to DEI, and they are talking to people about actively, like Ray said. So let's go.
We should probably set up a meeting with one of the chiefs down at the station and discuss having him relocated.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we don't want him to lose his job, obviously, we're not trying to ruin anyone's life, but this is a college campus and there's a lot of people are in vulnerable situations on campus, so it's a very vulnerable time where people are much more likely to get taken advantage of.
Yeah. And I will put out here right now for anybody that does want to contact the Chief of Public Safety, that is Chief Basong. Kyle?
Yeah, that was, I mean, as Dylan said, Chief Basong he's the Point Park Chief of Police. I've been meaning to meet with him regardless, so I think that this sounds like just an even more reason for me to make that meeting happen and discuss our concerns and discuss potentially a representative of public safety coming to one of our meetings.
And anyone can talk to Kyle and I about like being interested in coming to that meeting or addressing anything or anything they want us to bring up as well.
Madam, you go first, you have a hand of water.
Okay, as the people that are discussing this right now, ideally, what would we like to see come of this? Like relocation has been brought up, is that what we hope to come of this? What are you guys looking to make actionable steps towards?
To add on to that, we've talked a little bit about how the police have been using their personal cars to park in the police parking spots because they don't want to park anywhere else. So I figured that could be like a 2-in-1, 2 birds, 1 stone. Anyways, continue, that's all I have.
The police parking spots are for the police, like respectfully, like.
Yeah, but like they have their police vehicles, but then they have their personal vehicles, and then they have their vest shown in the window. And is that like are they allowed to put their personal vehicles in those spots?
They are.
Because they're putting the police vehicles in parking spots that are not the designated police parking spots.
Yeah, they're like putting the police cars in the public parking spots.
Right,
And then
and they
their
do that on
cars-
purpose. That is the idea, they put the actual police cars around the city at certain times so that there is a police vehicle present in that area. So there is true intentionality of what they're doing.
Okay.
So with all respect, before we assume some of these things are them doing things they're not supposed to be, or let's be careful about what we're saying and what we're sharing.
Well, that's
because we
fine
don't
with
have
that.
all the information as to why they're doing what they're doing. And that is one of the deterrents, is to have a police presence. One way to have a police presence is to have the police vehicle. So there will be, when we have events in Village Park, one of the things you will notice they do is they park a vehicle right there at the entrance of the park. And that's supposed to be a way for others around the city to see there's cop presence right here. So I just say, I'm not saying these things should not be addressed, please do not get me wrong. And I assure you, I will be absolutely addressing them as well. Please don't get me wrong. I just want to be very careful that we don't do a snowball effect on things that may not necessarily be unfair.
So,
Well, that was the first time I've ever heard about that.
so I just have a question then, are the police the only member, the only like faculty, administration, anybody that gets free parking on campus then?
No, there is a program and where 5 staff or faculty at the university are eligible every month. And that's the only other program.
So the police have like a specific program that like offers them the opportunity to park in those spots with their personal vehicles?
There is designated spots on First Avenue for police vehicles only. Our police take our police vehicles away from that and put their cars there while they're on duty.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about, because they take the police vehicles and use them around the city while they're on. That's a completely different situation than the parking that's in
Yeah, I understand
store.
that, I'm just asking, like, is there, I guess I'm asking more like, do they purchase, do they pay parking for the spots with that like they put their personal vehicles, or is that not paid, it's just where they put them because they use the police ones?
In all fairness, I truly don't know how that was designated a police spot for us. I honestly can't say that we pay this, we may have to pay the city
Okay.
for those spaces, but I honestly don't know how that works.
Okay.
I just know they are only designated police areas.
Okay, then that is a question that we can bring further then and ask specifically about like the insights of that. Go ahead, let's go.
Okay, back to the important topic of the quote-unquote hot police officer. I think along the lines of having him relocated, we could also look for more sensitivity training for police officers at the station down here, because this is a college campus and a lot of people don't feel comfortable going to or talking to the police officers because they aren't as easily approachable as they say they are.
I will say that one thing that has been brought up to us is that they do a lot of training. They are like one of the like highest trained police forces in the area, period. The problem seems to be more of the application of those things rather than the actual process of doing the training. Gray, did you have something to say, or was that what you were saying? Okay. Anybody else? For a second open floor?
I forgot to mention, in regards to the DEI committee, also, we are like restructuring our meeting time to better accommodate like all senators assigned. So be on the lookout for a when to meet link. Yeah.
Before we move on from the public safety issue, while there are various issues involved, I know that a lot of the complaints we've been getting recently there have been many specifically around public safety. So I do think I think many of you are able to make it to DEI committee meetings, or even if we want to have these conversations elsewhere among senators, I think it would be beneficial to have these conversations so that we can bring this to public safety. I would like us to have a more communicative relationship with them because of all of these issues coming up. The issue, we spoke to Tessa Chafin, who is the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging person for Point Park, and she brought up the issues with how they are trained fairly well. So I think making sure that we are continuing to speak up and letting them know that these issues are still happening despite the trainings would be very beneficial. I will take accountability for the fact that I have not done enough to create that conversation with public safety. I have not yet spoken to Chief Bason it professionally, but I think now is clearly the time where I will be reaching out so we can start having these conversations.
And I think it would be beneficial for potentially the next DEI meeting or just another meeting if that doesn't work for everybody, to have a conversation with anybody that does have concerns specifically that they want brought up, and then we can formulate what we need to bring to him like in a more concise way. Is there anything else for our second open floor? Sorry.
When are all those committee meetings? Do we have that? Can every single person?
We can add that into a senator folder where we put the location for all the times. I think some of the times are still actively changing.
Yeah.
But once that's put in, we can make a folder in the senator folder that you all should have access to in order to like know when and where everybody will be meeting each time.
Thank you.
Anything else for second open floor? All right. With that, we will move to announcements. Next week is a costume contest.
Yeah!
You better show up in a costume.
That's a threat.
It is. No, it's not a threat. But if you show up in a costume, we're going to take a vote, and whoever wins, whoever gets the most
You'll
votes.
get punched.
They don't get punched. They get a prize, a mystery prize. Ooh, you never know what it is unless you win.
I'm gonna win.
So show up in a silly costume if you want to, and you can get a little prize for it. With that, I have a little skull up there. Isn't it cute?
It's so beautiful.
Yep, go ahead, sorry.
I've said it twice before, and Jessica's gonna clown me for saying it again. Today is the last day to register to vote within Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Register to vote. If you
Yes.
have not registered, vote.pa, rockthevote.org, iwillvote.com, any of the students that have tables around campus to help you.
I
register
tabled
to
today.
vote. Please do it,
Please,
for the love of democracy.
She will come for
Please
you.
do
Oh
it.
God, everyone.
Okay, so I registered to vote several, like, I wanna say back in like August, if not September. I still haven't gotten my card in the mail.
I got denied.
Oh, you
Like,
checked your
twice.
Oh, you can check your registration on the state.
I did check on the state site, I'm registered, I just don't have the card, so I'm a little scared.
You don't need to show it, you just need to show
Yeah, you
photo
don't need
ID
the
the
card.
first time you go to the
Okay.
polling location.
Okay.
But please, for the love of God, vote. For the love of democracy,
Yeah.
please go vote.
For the love of Democrats.
Alright guys, is there any more announcements?
Does that sound like
Okay.
about democracy,
We'll talk about democracy in a second.
You got gambled, bro.
The next Ledge Block meeting is October 28th, 2024. Please come in costume, you'll be gorgeous. And with that, I will adjourn our meeting at 4:13 and right into the
Yeah, okay, so as I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted by the ongoing meeting,